This is virtual labels. It is most of our clients access virtual labels from their web browser. They enter data or import CSV data once the software is on their PC behind their firewall. And the system can also be installed on local server if there are requirements for doing so. We'll provide you, this is a standard demonstration software that we have set up for this demo. And each customer is provided their own credentials in terms of user ID and password to log into the software for their specific label printing requirements. So we'll log into the system. Many of our customers have one label design. The fields are designed according to each client's requirements. And some of our clients have multiple labels. And if there are multiple labels like HR and contracting and so forth, then a user can select the specific label that they require. In this case, we'll use Alpha 007, which is a label that includes a color bar for the year the folder was originated, a file type designation label. The first three letters of the last name are color coded, and the first letter of the first name is color coded. And we have text fields for the date of origination, the file name, and a barcode linked to the file number. So at this point, we'll enter a single set of data to print a single label. So we'll start by entering the current year. We'll enter a name. We'll enter a file number. We'll select today's date as the date the folder was originated. We'll select a file type designation label, and we'll select the color of that color bar. Again, all of these data fields and the drop-down list and pop-up calendars and those kinds of features are configured for each customer's specific requirements. So at this point, we have entered one set of data to print to this format. And so now we'll add this data to the spreadsheet. Once the data has been moved to the spreadsheet, the data cells empty or become empty so that additional labels can be input to the screen and added to the spreadsheet for batch printing. This example is to show a single label being printed. So at this point, we will click the spreadsheet tab, and it will display the row of data that we had previously entered on the data entry screen. At this point, we would be able to select the print position on the sheet of labels. Most of our customers use label sheets that have multiple labels on the sheet and will, from time to time, need to start printing at a position other than position 1 so that label sheets that have not been completely utilized can be run through the printer multiple times and the print position selected to the correct location on the sheet, so to avoid wasted labels by being able to select the position. Now we've got the data showing for this particular label. Now we'll click on Print Preview. You can see that the label is formatted based on the information that we entered into the data entry screen. At this point, we verify, yes, this is the correct data, this is the correct colors, this label design looks perfect, and it's on the right position on the sheet. In this case, we have selected position number 2. Now all we have to do is click the printer icon here. We can select the printer that we would like to print to. You may have multiple printers in your drop-down list, and we click print. And at that point, the label will print to the printer that you selected. So that is the very simple steps for using to print a single label. The virtual labels has been designed to be very easy to use for any kind of user, and including users that are not necessarily experts at using computer software programs. So now we'll go back to the data entry screen. and we will demonstrate how to enter multiple labels into virtual labels to print a batch of labels at one time, rather than having to enter data, print a label, enter another record, print that. So this is a batch printing capability. We'll enter a few records to demonstrate batch printing. So we'll enter the year again, for which will create the year bar, color bar at the top of the label. We'll enter a name and a file number. We'll select today's date as the date the folder was originated. We'll select a designation label title, and we'll select a color. We'll add that to the spreadsheet. Now we'll add another set of data for a second label. We'll enter the year for the year bar, a name, a file number, today's date, designation label, and we'll choose a color. We'll add that to the spreadsheet. Now let's add a third and final label with the year, name, file number, today's date, select a designation label title, choose a color, add to spreadsheet. Now at this point, we've just added 3 labels to the system, and we'll click on spreadsheet, and you'll see the rows of data for the 3 sets of data that we just entered into the system. We would now change the print position if the print position needs to be changed for printing to the sheet that's in the printer, and the top of the stack of labels or sheets that are in that printer tray, or if it's a label that you're putting through a bypass tray of a printer. So we'll select position number 3 this time. We'll go to print preview. You can see that these are the 3 labels that we entered. We are starting in position 3. The colors and data and text can be verified. And then here again, we click print. We can select the printer from the drop-down list of printers that the computer has access to, and we click print, and the label will print. So printing a batch of labels is quite simple, as is entering data for a single label and printing a single label. So now we'll go back to the software, and we will now demonstrate how to import a spreadsheet saved in CSV format to print labels by importing CSV data. So we'll go to the spreadsheet tab. We would then click on upload CSV file. We will click on add files. This will take you to your Windows window that, where all of your documents are stored on your local drive or a shared drive, or anywhere that you have access to files. In this case, we've navigated to a spreadsheet that we would like to use for printing file folder labels. So we have added this file. You can now see that we've added this file to the system. And we'll now click on Start Upload. We'll go to position 1. And at this point in time, you can see that the data from the spreadsheet was added to the spreadsheet screen within the virtual label software. We've selected print position number 1. Now we'll click on Print Preview. You can see the labels as we have imported from the data. And now we go to print as before and click print. And I will also open the spreadsheet that I use to print the labels for import purposes. This is the spreadsheet that was created. And this is what was used to print the labels.